Look at this beautiful beast that we've got for you today, guys. We're going to get a close look at it right after the break. Hey guys, Tony here, CCxRC, and I'm really excited to show you the custom mud truck that my sons and I built for you guys to check out here on YouTube. It was a lot of fun to put this thing together and work with them and see them using screwdrivers and wrenches really for the first time. My 8-year-old son really got into it more than the 7-year-old and did a lot more with it, but they both definitely had their hand in this build, and so it's really fun for me to be able to show it to you guys. We've actually dubbed the truck SnakeBite, and we didn't have a name for it, and then one of the local guys here who makes these custom stickers for me, the Vinyl Cut, said, hey, I have some silver sticker and I want to bring you some I made for your truck. And he brought them over and he said, oh, these are not the right sizes. And so he went back to build a bigger one to put on the hood here, like this, which is silver. And he said, later on, he's like, well, do you have a name for the truck? So, we could put a name on it. I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. My older son said right away, let's call it Snakebite, Dad. You just got all this Venom stuff. Let's call it Snakebite. I was like, that's a cool idea. So one of the other cool things that we'll be talking about here, just really briefly, is that I did just get sponsored by Venom to run their batteries from some things on the channel here for you guys. I've been a big proponent of their battery from the get-go. It was the first 2 lipos that I had were Venom batteries, and I've had many more since. And so they just reached out to me recently. And so we said, hey, yeah, let's work together. I could definitely use some help here on the channel with some things and some projects that I want to do. And they said, cool, we could use some video content of bashing and all that stuff that you do. And so it's kind of a cool thing together. It's no contract kind of a thing or anything like that, but basically just mutually helping each other out in a few ways. So I'm really happy to have them on board. So we're actually dubbing this Venom-powered Snakebite. We actually had a Venom battery that we were already running in it. So we built a mud pit in the backyard that we've been testing. We've got their banners out there that they sent me. And we're just going to call it the Venom Mud Pit. All right, so let's take a look at this thing. We've got the 1980 Proline truck body here. That's for the E-Max or E-Revo style truck. But we've got it painted out for this particular custom truck made by Southern Builds and Customs RC Fabrication. Here's his stickers, Donald Jenkins, really cool guy. Really great fabricator, and so he built the chassis that's under here that we'll be looking at in just a second. Custom built to fit this body. So up front you'll see the little license plates of Venom. Our sticker up on top by Steve. He made these for me again. I'm going to put his contact info down below, as well as a link to Southern Builds, so you guys can go there if you want to check out his other awesome frames that he makes, rock bouncers, all that kind of cool stuff that you can build off of a Wraith. Steve can make up stickers for people. He's been doing it at the time of this video. It's about, I think it's $1 in inch size. So like this would be a $3 sticker. 2-inch, it would be a $2 sticker. He'll do them one-off for you. You pay shipping, just 50 cents to throw them in an envelope. You're good to go. Anyway, so we're going to be floating around this whole video handheld like we're doing right now, just so I can get in and show you everything. So it's open bed, as you can see, total mud truck style. We've got a chrome little detailing strip that goes all the way around, also wraps this front and goes back. This is a very classic style for this truck. The chrome, I also did paint for the grill in the front instead of using their sticker, but I did sticker in their Chevy logo and the headlights just to make it easier on myself. Take the body off here. Get again a close look at the Snakebite on the back here, and again it says powered by Venom. Team Chevy gearhead sticker from some of the packages I got for the build on this truck. So here is the awesome chassis that was made by Donald Jenkins. I really liked this when I saw it with the mud truck tires on his page. It was up for sale for a little while, then I finally just couldn't take it anymore and I snagged it. So let's look at the components that are going into this. So it's a steel chassis, custom welded. He's put in these different little screw-in points for body posts. It's all matched to SCX10 skid plate. So that's where it all starts, is you get that SCX10 skid plate. It's running on the 12.3-inch SCX10-1 trailing arms. Unfortunately, are 4-link. And unfortunately, I bought the SCX10-2, which their chassis, or their skid plate's a little bit smaller, which makes these longer. And so it doesn't match perfectly to the body, but it's good enough for me. So we're going to stick with it. We're running the hot Racing Gearbox in there, as you can see. And that is running a 57-tooth spur gear. Currently, I'm running a 15-tooth hot Racing metal spur on the other side. MIP drive shafts in there. And these are based again off of the SCX10. I had to flip the motor mount around, skid plate, and put the gear in the front because there's a custom like 3D printed motor in the back here, and it was hitting the spur gear, which meant that I couldn't put the longer arm, which I normally do on these MIPs. There's a longer section back here, and I would normally do it here. Another problem was that these MIPs, for some reason, I don't know what the deal is, but they don't really fit on any of these outputs. So it was really hard to get them on. This was the only one that would fit on here. The rest were a tight fit onto the rest of them, but they wouldn't actually go onto this side, which was a pain. So I couldn't swap out this longer extension to put here to get this knuckle out away from the spur gear. But it doesn't seem to be hitting. I definitely might want to go down a tooth, make it a little bit smaller spur gear just to get it away from that a little bit more. We're running hot Racing 100mm shocks. These are the inner spring, air spring. They're on the heaviest spring tension because the weight of the body with the battery and everything, it just really is already putting strain on these shocks if it's not if you don't run the heaviest. They sag too much right from the get-go. We did go in and we took out one of the gaskets like RC Overload did on his to make them rebound a little bit faster. And then I need to put a little bit of shock oil in there, I think, to make it a little smoother. We're running a Saavik Servo SW0230. Not a great one. It's kind of a cheap and expensive one, but I had it laying around, and so I stuck it in here. This is a standard stock plastic axle, which is not going to go here, so this is not the finished look. But the one that I got in the kit was missing the steering knuckles or block that went to the steering links, and so I couldn't actually make it function. We're running hot Racing rims here. I think they're 8-spoke. And then these are some RC AIDONG tires from AliExpress. Just temporary until I can get some of the RC 4-wheel drive 2.2 mud bashers, which I'm hoping to get here soon. So the custom interior came with it, 3D printed. He'd already made this. He made a mount in here. He put in the screw mounts to be able to just put an axial battery tray, which is great. Already had that, just stuck it in there. We're running a Volinian system, VXL3S, because it's waterproof and this is a mud truck. And no, we're not trying to go slow. It's going to cog if I go slow, I know. But it's really about wheel speed and getting through the mud. We're not going to be crawling and doing all that. So hopefully it'll work all right. Otherwise, we'll probably go brushed, because dealing with a censored motor in a mud truck would be a real pain, I think. First of all, having to waterproof everything, but also having that sensor wire trying to run in here would just be kind of a pain, and getting snagged and all of that in the mud. So if this doesn't work, then I'll probably go with a 27 turn brushed system. I wish I could do dual motor, but I can't really get it to fit in here because of the cage. So again, these are SSD titanium links. I got the wrong ones. These should be for the 12.3 original SCX10. These are for the SCX10-2, and so they're just a little bit longer. So what else we got? So up in the front here, I used one kit and I was able to use some of the extra arms on the top and the rear, and then I just did my own threaded rod here in the front for the upper links, so I could get my right adjustability. I wanted it to be straight but I actually don't want it to be straight because that angle on that drive shaft is really severe, and I like this a whole lot better. It's much more a straighter shot on that drive shaft, and that's because the axle is actually rotated a little bit forward on the bottom. So these axles are the ones that I got. These are metal axles from eBay. There's no name brand for them at all. Shipped from LA, but they are made in China somewhere. I don't know what they are exactly. But it was like $100 for the pair, a little over $100 for metal. And I didn't really want the metal for anything other than weight down low, because we are going with that narrow stance. We wanted that SCX10 look, because a lot of mud trucks look tall and narrow and like they are really tipsy. So I wanted that for this truck, which we achieved. And if we get the mud bashers, we'll have achieved even more. These are only 5-inch tall tires. I think the mud bashers are almost 6 inches tall. So it's a whole nother almost inch of tire that we'll be adding to it in the ride height arena of this truck. So that is a quick look at this thing. I'll give you guys just kind of a few little once-overs here to just kind of get a glance at just the craftsmanship that Donald Jenkins put into his frame here. We spent a lot of time really trying to get it nice. We got all stainless bolts from a screw kit, and we've just put a lot of time into making this build look good, from the paint right down to all the detail work that we did in trying to choose the parts that we wanted. The look of the inner spring shocks here was something that I wanted. I would potentially like to have run 2, but there's not a secondary spot. So I guess I could make a mount on here that would allow me to run 2 shocks all the way around. That might be something we look into, is building a couple of things. But this is the mud truck. This is SnakeBite, guys. We're building a mud pit in the backyard. You can already see the test footage with the SCX10. Where we're going to test this, we're trying to make it a little bit soupier though, because it was almost too easy with that dual motor SCX10, and I think it's going to be too easy with this brushed system as well. But this is the look, guys. This is what we really wanted it to look like. It's kind of so cool to see it turn out based on like what you're really thinking it'll look like, and then to see it come to fruition like this is just really, really rad. So I don't know how I'm going to actually hold the body on yet. It actually sits on there pretty good. It clamps onto the chassis pretty well. But he put some screw holes in here. I might just go with that, or I might try and do some kind of Velcro system. I definitely am not going to do body posts. If anything, it'll be the 2 little screw holes that are in the side, and we'll just clamp it on with that. But anyway, that's a look at our mud truck, guys. Thanks for tuning in, as always. I hope you have fun RCing. Hope to see you back here to watch this thing hit the mud when we take it in there and we jump it in there for the first time. It's going to be awesome. So let us know down in the comments below what you think of the truck. Give the guys, a thumbs up for their work. Donald Jenkins, Steve, for the cool stickers, man. Thank you so much. James Price sent me Opinion Gear 13 tooth as another option, because we're running a 15 tooth on here right now. Just because we knew he was sending the 13, that's what I really wanted to be at, and so we're going to switch that and put that on at some point here. Just try out different gearings on it to see how it handles differently. So not sure if we're going to run it 2S, 3S, but we will be Venom powered on this kit, guys, going into that mud pit, and we're going to do it up for Venom on this build and this run. So really excited about that. Really excited about the opportunity to be able to do some things for them as well. And so, guys, again, let me know in the comments if you like this video. Hit the thumbs up button. If you aren't subscribed but you want to see more of what we're doing here on the channel, hit the subscribe button. Those of you that want the updates right away, hit the little bell next to it. Get alerts when we post videos. We're doing a lot more live stuff, and really trying to make this channel more accessible to you guys, and giving you guys a little bit of voice with us about what you like and what you want to see. So thanks for tuning in. As always, guys, have fun RCing. We'll catch you next time.